Hello. We are in part three of the self-care series. This is the last one, the last part of the self-care. We had a three-part this whole month just to show ourselves some love. Gonna wait a couple of minutes here for people to join. But it is going to be a pretty interesting one, a delicious one at that, because we're gonna be talking about food that help us feel happier and energize us. And Paloma's here. Hi, Paloma. So glad you could make it today. As people join, I want you to type in there as you're joining, what are some of the foods that you already eat that make you feel great? Okay, if you have any, so that way you can share with us and we'll see if they're on the list, or if they're not, we can add them to our list. Okay. Okay. So my name is Marilyn. We're Resilient Social Work. You can follow me on Instagram. I also have my website, and you can link on the bio to go check out my services and just all the information I have there. I have a ton of resources because I'm doing some trainings with teachers right now. So if you're a teacher or working with children that are impacted by trauma, there's a lot of information in there that you can benefit from. And I also post the videos, the replays on there as well. So if you missed a couple of the other two of the three-part series, you can go and watch them and then let me know how it went. What did you like about them? What could be better? What are some of the information that maybe is helpful to you? And what are some things you want to continue seeing? Hello, I see more people are coming. How's it going? It's cold today. It was really cold and it's going to be a cold night. So, right. So, like I said, this is part three of the self care series so that we can show ourselves some love. We've been missing some self care and some love during this crazy pandemic. And today we're going to talk about food and healthy foods, foods that help us feel good, that boost our mood, that help with our energy, and also that help with our mental health. Okay, so it helps us with anxiety, that help us with stress, with when we're feeling kind of down and in a funk. What are some foods that can boost us? And when we're super tired, because we also work very hard. So when we are tired, we can definitely reach for something that instead of the soda, right, for the or the coffee, we can reach for other things that can boost our energy. Very good. All right. So before you join in, for the people that are just joining, if you can type in any foods that you eat that you know help boost your energy or help boost your mood that make you feel good. If you can type it in for us, that would be great. As I start sharing a little bit about how is it that I know this information. Okay, so aside from being a licensed clinical social worker, I'm also a certified integrative mental health professional. That is a mouthful, and it takes a while for me to remember all the different things. But what that means is that aside from talk therapy, I'm also training other areas or other tools, mental health tools that we can utilize to help us feel better, including diet, how we can utilize our diet to help us in treating depression, anxiety, stress, to help us stay healthier, not just in body, but also in mind. And that's all connected. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And some of you may know, like I said, some foods that you already know boost your energy. And one common one is coffee. Um, I know the people that are here do like coffee, so for sure that is me, right? I love coffee too, but I've learned that as I'm getting older, I cannot have as much as I used to have before. So I can only handle 1 cup of coffee a day, and I think that we have to be very mindful of that too, because if we drink too much of coffee, then we get jittery, right? We get anxiety or we get insomnia. So 1 cup of coffee during the day, maybe at the beginning of the day, not too much in the afternoon or the evening. And being Salvadorian, we like our panecito con café, right? But you may have it, just don't have it too late. or have it instead in the morning, you're going to have it in the, later on in the afternoon. So, what are some of the foods and why is food important? So, what we put in our body impacts our mind, okay, impacts our gut, impacts the way that we feel. Um, and it is important to know some key ingredients or some key food products that we can introduce to our diet to help us feel better. Okay, so some of the basic ones include our, healthy fats. So I know that we have a very difficult relationship with fat because we were trained that fat is bad. So we have to kind of embrace fat again and recognize that we need it. We need fat for our brain. Okay. Dementia, unfortunately, is on the rise. Partly, I think, is because we were, again, brainwashed and the fat is not good. So a lot of the food products that we ate, and the diet that we had was fat free. But the fat free stuff also has more sugar because they want to make it taste better. So therefore, we got bigger instead of getting smaller with the fat free stuff. So we want to introduce fat, and that's healthy fats to our diet. So, what are healthy fats? Okay, healthy fats like olive oil, raw butter, coconut oil, flaxseed oil. Those are good fats, and nuts. Okay, nuts are also fruta. Ooh, okay. So Paloma said fruta is something, fruit is something that she eats that makes her feel good. Yes, we're putting energy back into our body. We have to feed it in order for it to work. And like I was saying, for our brain, it needs the fats, okay, in order for it to function. So if we have issues with forgetfulness, we want to introduce healthy fats to our diet if we don't are not having them already. Okay, so omega 3s. Diana just joined us. Hi, Diana. So omega 3s, we want to introduce those. Obviously, you always want to consult with your doctor when you're taking supplements. Um, but eggs is another one, right? It's another fat for our brain that we need. It's another protein that got a bad rap with cholesterol. But, it is okay for us to eat one egg a day. It helps with our brain. It helps, again, with putting the fat lining in there that helps our brain cells function correctly. And so good fats, again, are good to boost our mood, are good for our brain health, and are good for our gut health as well. Okay, so coconut oil brings some good bacteria into our gut, and that helps us break down the food. It helps us it helps us also fight, when we have bacteria that is not good in there, it helps fight it in there. Okay, so it is important for us again to introduce good fats to our diet. So we talked about eggs, we talked about good fats. The other thing is organic beef, lamb, or chicken, or pinto beans. Okay, so if you're a vegetarian, pinto beans are great, right? It's a protein, it's a complete, protein, carbohydrate. It has both in there, but it boosts our mood. So all those, so the healthy proteins helps us, and again, in just giving us the energy that we need to be able to take on the day and the stresses of the day. So we need that for energy and to support our healthy mood. Right. Let's see. Salmon or tuna, it has to be wild caught. So I know when you go shopping, it says farm raised. We kind of want to stay away from those because I don't want to get into all the details of it. But the other ones are healthier because they are wild. They're not, leaving like a whole bunch of them just in one confined space. They are free and roaming around, and then they'll caught. So we want to make sure that we get, I know it's a little bit more expensive, but we can indulge every once in a while for our health. Okay. And those fishes are rich in omega 3s, which help support, again, the brain and also with pain management. Okay. So it helps with pain. And again, just eat the wild varieties. You can either be canned or frozen or fresh, as long as it's, fresh wild fish. Fermented foods. So kimchi, I know it's stinky, right? Kimchi or curtido. All the fermented foods are, again, great for our gut. Okay, so our gut is second brain. And what happens is when food is fermented, there's good bacteria in there, probiotics, that helps us with digestion. So if you have issues with digestion, if you have issues with anxiety, acidic foods like vinegar or, like I said, kimchi, right? It's very vinegary because it's fermented, or sauerkraut. It's also good for your gut, and therefore it's going to keep you more content. If you're regular, you're happy. If you're irregular, grouchy, right? So we want to make sure that we're introducing some fermented foods to our diet. It helps with our intestinal health, and it also helps with relaxation. Okay, so it helps with our the neurotransmitters in our brain that helps us relax and not be anxious. So introduce your fermented food. The other one that's pretty common now is a drink, kombucha. So kombucha is also fermented. It's a fermented tea. And maybe I'll do one where I teach you how to make kombucha. I'm able to make my own, and that was pretty fun. So maybe I'll teach you next time. So raise your hand if you're interested in learning how to make kombucha. I'll teach you. Um, but that's also fermented, and you can buy it at the store and have one a week, or if you're able to have it once a day. It helps. Okay, it helps with digestion and just keeping your gut clean and introducing good bacteria. Okay, blueberries and raspberries. So blue and red foods are fixers. Okay, so they are helping us. Blue and red foods. Oh, look, there's Paloma. She wants to know how to make it. And Diana. So maybe the next one I'll do that kombucha. And I'll put in my website what ingredients you need for the class. Okay. All right. So frozen or fresh, whatever works, whatever's in season. If it's not in season and you need it, then you go and buy it frozen. It's okay, as long as it's not processed. That's the other thing I didn't talk about. So we want to stay away from processed food. Whole foods are foods that come from the ground, foods that you are cooking yourself. And I know that's why it's hard for us, because we have to make it by ourselves, right? So we have to start from scratch. So cooking from scratch is what it's also healthy, right? Obviously, we have to use healthy ingredients as well. But when you are cooking for yourself and not eating so many processed foods, that also helps your gut because you're introducing different foods in there, and the gut recognizes it. Our body recognizes it's not synthetic, it's not anything that the body doesn't recognize, because it comes from the earth, or if it's an animal, right, it comes from them as well. It's directly from the source. That's what a whole food is. Okay. All right. Sweet potato. Oh, sorry. Blueberries and raspberries. So they're great antioxidants, and they reduce pain and help with brain function. So if we're having memory problems again, right, it helps us just think better. It helps us focus, and gives us energy as well. So I'll do a recipe with blueberries and strawberries. So red and blue foods, again, are good antioxidants, and they reduce pain as well and help with brain function. So, if you get a lot of headaches or if you have joint pain, that kind of stuff, right? We do want to introduce some good fruits, some berries to our diet. Lemons. Oh, lemons, it's a good one, and right now it's like so many lemons around. Whoever has lemon tree has a ton of lemons. Um, but they're great. So you can, whenever you're feeling tired, whenever you're feeling, exhausted, or you just need a boost, cut a lemon. You can cut a lemon, you can put it in your water, you can just smell it, you can boil it in your home, just put it in a pot and, throw some lemons in there with some cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla in there, and it'll make your house smell great. And at the same time, it'll just boost you, right? It'll boost your energy up. It's an energy booster. Oats. Okay, so oatmeal. With oatmeal, we are used to eating it in the morning, but it definitely helps. It's very soothing. So if you're having trouble sleeping, if you are really stressed out, maybe you want to have a bowl of oatmeal at night, because that's going to help you again to just ease into sleep, right? Start getting into the shutdown mode of winding down so that you can go to sleep and not carry the stress of the day. So eating oatmeal at night is something that's pretty soothing, and it helps with relaxation. Okay. All right. Green tea. So green tea, if you have it throughout the day, You can exchange it for coffee. It will give you some caffeine in there. They also sell it decaffeinated, but it is also an antioxidant. Okay, so if you have green tea, it's a great mood stabilizer. So it'll give you that boost of energy, but while staying calm. Whilst coffee, it give you that boost of energy and it'll make you a little jittery and anxious. The green tea kind of will stabilize. It will not give you that high that you're going to be all jittery and not being able to focus. You'll have the opposite effect. So just, introducing green tea here and there, maybe after lunch or with lunch or in between lunch and dinner, right? As a snack or as a hold you over until it's time to eat. It's a good way to introduce it to your diet, and you can have it hot or you can have it cold. You can brew a whole bunch at once and then put it in the fridge, and then you can fill in your bottles. Okay, so if you are a kombucha drinker, I keep my bottles because then I can make my own teas and then put it there. Or when I make my own kombucha, I can use the same bottles to bottle it up. All right. So the other thing is beets. Okay, so I know a lot of people are not fan of beets. I love beets. Because I know my husband says they take like dirt. My kids too, they hate them, except for one of them. But they're great. They are, they clean out your liver, right? So they are also help us feel good, and it helps with digestion, detoxification, and it helps with the gallbladder. So if you have anger issues, right, you get angry pretty easily, beets are a good one to have along with bitter greens. Okay, so a green salad. And that includes like watercress, parsley, dandelion, or arugula. Um, the arugula salad. And you can put some citrus in there and some fat to help you digest it. Okay, but that helps with anger. So if you are pretty quick to react to anger, you want to eat some green salad, introduce it to your diet, and have some sort of greens every day. The other way to eat greens is you can put them, you can saute them with a little bit of raw butter and they taste delicious. And that again will help you absorb all the minerals, all the different vitamins that it brings, and helps you digest it easier. And you're having two at once. Okay, the bitter greens for the anger, mood stabilizer, and also the fat for our brain that we need it. Um, all right. Basil. Ooh, so if you love, I love the oh my God, of course I can think of the name right now, but there's the pasta, the green pasta with the basil. Um, you can make that too, or you can have it on a salad, or you can put in a tomato. Um, you can put it in soups. It's also a mood stabilizer. So it helps us with a mood lifter. It lifts our mood and it's an anti-inflammatory. So introduce basil to your diet. Sprinkle it in your soups or in your salads. Figs. Okay, figs. Everybody knows the fig Newtons. Not a fan. But I'm learning to like figs. And figs are also something that is great. It has magnesium, it has calcium, it has vitamin K, it has fiber. And if we have it, as a staple in our diet, just have some figs around. You have one a day, a couple a day. It helps in stabilizing sugar, in helping us feel full. It also gives us the sugar fix when we are feeling the sweet tooth that we need something sweet in our life in the afternoons. Or it also elevates our mood. It helps us feel good. So figs are good. Diana says so good. Ooh, tallerin verde. Yes. What is the name of the? I can think of what the sauce is right now. Escape my mind. But yes, tallarines verdes is so delicious. All right. Bitter greens I already talked about. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are awesome. So sweet potatoes and parsnips. I'm not a fan of parsnips so much, but if you are, that's great. But if not, you can do sweet potatoes. So that is another sweet substitution. When you have when you're pan dulce, instead of having pan dulce, you can have a sweet potato. And they're easy to cook. If you have an Instapot, you put in the Instapot, put it for 6, 7 minutes, and it comes out delicious. It's ready to go. You just cut it, put a little bit of butter on there, and then some cinnamon, and it's yummy. So it gives you again that sweet fix. Sometimes we just need that sweetness to balance whatever salty meal we had. Um, or we just want something sweet. But again, it's a sugar stabilizer, and it helps with inflammation as well. Okay, so just healthy mood. It makes us feel good. All right. So I think that's pretty much, not pretty much. There's a ton of other foods. Okay, but I do want to get to the recipe. So let me see. Oh, turmeric. So turmeric, so let's talk about seasonings. What are some seasonings that we can use? So for seasonings, we can use turmeric. Turmeric is another anti-inflammatory, and I'm going to show you how to make a tea. I really love the golden milk tea. If you ever had it, type in the chat if you are a fan of golden milk. And what that is it's made of turmeric. Okay, so it's turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger. And then you put, in order to absorb turmeric and absorb the curcumin, that it's the good part of the turmeric, um, we need to use some pepper. Okay, so make sure that whenever you're having turmeric, you add black pepper to it a little bit, and also a fat, in order to be able to absorb all the vitamins that it gives us, and all the goodness of it. So turmeric is in curry. So if you love curry, all the yellow foods, right? Usually it's turmeric is yellow, orange. So you'll make the meats or the chicken yellow. Whatever you put on it is gonna be yellow or orange. So definitely you can use that in your, just for a seasoning in your curries, and it's yummy. Garlic is another one that is a classic one. I think we all know about garlic. It's also a detoxifier. It helps with the liver, and it's good for our mental health just overall. Okay, for our heart. So it helps again with our brain functioning as well. So introduce ginger to your diet if you're not yet. Again, put it in your stir fry, put it in your soups. You know, you can hardly know even if it's there. It just makes the stuff taste yummy. Ginger is another anti-inflammatory, and it helps with, again, addressing the anger. Okay, so when we are pretty angry and bitter, um, we want to introduce ginger, whether it's in a tea, whether it is, again, adding, a chunk to the soup to just give it the flavor. It'll kick up our mood. Um, and sea salt. Sea salt is rich in minerals that support adrenal function, so it makes it a great source of stress reduction. Obviously, in moderation. We're not going to put a ton of salt and everything, um, but it's just in addition, right? So as a seasoning, you can add it instead of table salt, because it has more minerals that are good for us. It helps with helping us feel better. And anti-anxiety or anxiety decreasing foods are, like I said, acidic foods, like vinegars, animal protein, and some of the best food for anxiety are bananas, figs, and oats. Okay, so like I said, the oatmeal, right? We can introduce that. And the best fats, I already talked about that. Oh, I didn't talk about ghee. So ghee is another form, it's clarified butter. So the milk products have been taken out of it. The milk proteins, and it cooks, is better for cooking because it can cook at high heat. So if you, instead of using the butter for cooking, because then you lose all the good stuff, you want to use yeast for cooking if you're going to use it for cooking. All right, so let's get to some recipes. Any questions so far? Please type them in there if you have any questions or any other comments. No? So I was talking about the golden milk. Okay, so golden milk tea is something that, like I said, is delicious, and it just helps with soothing at night. If you take it at night, it's an anti-inflammatory. It just helps with relaxation, and it'll just help you have a better night's sleep. So cinnamon, I have it all in powder form just because it's easier for me. So I put about half a tablespoon of ginger, powdered ginger, half a tablespoon of turmeric. Okay, and then the cinnamon. Okay, and about, I don't know, 8 ounces of water or so. And you can play with the portions and see how strong you like it, or how, how mild you like it. But just, just sprinkle, just put a little bit on your cup at a time, and then you can balance it off and see if you want some more cinnamon in it, or some more turmeric, or some more ginger, depending on your taste buds. And you put that on there, and then of course, like I said, you have to add the pepper. Okay, so you just put a couple of, and don't worry, it's still gonna taste good. I know it sounds weird, it might be, it's a little bit, it has a little bit of a kick. And you put that in some hot water, and then you add your fat. Okay, so you can use coconut milk or coconut cream, and it tastes really good. You can add some honey or maple syrup or whatever other sugar substitute you use, and it tastes delicious. So that is one. The other one that we talked about, anti-inflammatories and just antioxidants, is the red, white, and blue parfait. I'm gonna make everybody hungry. Um, so this one is, again, this is frozen fruit. So frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, because, that's what I had. And then the bananas, you just cut them up. And then what you do is then you add a little bit of yogurt, okay? So plain yogurt in there. And then some granola. So I'm gonna make it real quick and then I'll show you. And then you'll have your parfait. Okay, so what it does is you have antioxidants there. You also have good bacteria with the yogurt that's helping your gut. And then you have the granola, which is made out of oatmeal. Okay, and the oatmeal helps again just with relaxation and stabilizing the mood. So that is a good energy booster, but also just mood stabilizer. Snack that you can have that is good for you. And you can have it at night or you can have it during the day. And you can make your own granola. So in one of the classes when I do the kombucha, the other one will be how to make your own granola, and then you can add more good stuff in there, okay? Like your chia seeds or flax seeds or um, whatchamacallit, chocolate, dark chocolate. And I talk about dark chocolate. And yes, I will be writing the recipes. I'll put them on the website for you guys. And that probably will be Friday. So it won't be there tomorrow, but it will be there by Friday. So go check them out in there. And those ones again are, it's just an easy one. The other one I didn't talk about is Jamaica. So if you've gone to a Mexican restaurant, they usually have, horchata and Jamaica. And if you don't know what it looks like, when you go to the store, it looks like something like this, okay? And Jamaica is kind of like the cheap berries. So it helps us feel good, okay? It's an antioxidant. It helps us with stabilizing mood. It makes us happier. It gives us a boost of just, good vibes. And this is the way it looks, okay? When it's just the flowers, hibiscus flowers. So you can make hibiscus tea. You can make it, you can brew it cold and just throw a whole, like a handful in a pot. Or in a in a pitcher just with a little bit of water, and that's going to be really concentrated. You leave it there for an hour or two, it's going to be really concentrated, and then you add some more water to it when you are ready to drink it, or you can add it to a smoothie, or you can add it to like I said, you can make your own teas. You can make your green tea and then add it to your green tea, and then you have a Jamaica green tea. So again, they're easy things that are not too hard to get at the store. You can find them anywhere, and they're not that expensive. So green tea for drinks, Jamaica. You want to have Jamaica, and that's going to help you again, just boost your mood. And oatmeal is another one. Bananas are good for anxiety as well. So, introduce some of this stuff to your diet little by little. And once you do one, like you want to try the other stuff and see what's good. So you can make, again with the proteins, you can make, your chicken salad, you can make chicken tostadas, right? And you have all the veggies and the greens in there. And it's not that hard. But like I said, we'll talk about cooking and shortcuts for cooking another time. I'll set up another one. But that's it. That's all I got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you learned something new. Ooh, yeah, I see Diana wants to make the granola. Yeah, so maybe the next one we'll cook some more, okay? And I'll put the ingredients in there. I'll let you know when the next one will be. But thank you so much for joining today. I really hope that you enjoyed the three-part series. Please send me questions, send me feedback. What you liked about it, what you learned, what are you actually practicing, because that's what this is about, for you to practice, and put to practice the tools, right, that I'm sharing with you on how to make life easier, or, getting out of the funk, right, that we've been for the past 2 years. So I really hope that you give me some feedback so that I know what's working. and then share it. If you like the information, share it with friends. So that way they also get the knowledge and get the tips and start again, just living a better life. Okay. So thank you so much. ResilientSocialWork.com. Go visit the website. I'll put the recipes up there on Friday. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for coming, everybody.